Welcome to Mat Pilates. Once again, no props needed. Just a few reminders. I'm going to be giving out cues, right, left, whatever. If you need to turn a certain way to see me and you're working the opposite side, that's fine. Just keep in mind, not to work the same side twice. Once again, the chat is open. Feel free to answer or ask any questions. I'm happy to answer. And I do not do the whole workout with you. So if you've been here before, you know that. If you haven't been, just to let you know, that's what is going on. I will demo as we go. So everyone, most importantly, have fun with it. Let's start with our feet parallel hip width apart. Finding your pokey parts of your hips in the front of the body, look down, and that is where your feet should be. I make reference to this often. Start with a sweep up with your arms. Your shoulders go down. Your core is nice and tight. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're looking towards the horizon. Starting from the crown of the head, slowly start to articulate down vertebra by vertebra. Super slow and controlled. Your knees can soften as little or as much as you need them to. Feel a stretch to the back of the thigh. You could do a little alternating bending or extending of your knee here if you need to. Let your head go heavy. Keep going here. Squeeze your core the entire time. Hold still. Press through your heels. Squeeze your butt. Slowly articulate on up, vertebra by vertebra. Bring your arms up with you. Relax those shoulders. Soften those knees. Tall, proud posture. Then drop your chin and slowly start to articulate down again. So thinking about a candy cane here that you're making with your body. I'll turn profile so you can see what I'm talking about. You don't want to just collapse. You really want to round up and over. Grabbing for your shins, your ankles, the floor, your hand, or the shins, ankles, the floor, whatever you got available today. You can also hook your elbows here. Once again, feel free to straighten and bend your knees. Or just hold it too. Make it your own. Holding once again. Go ahead, press your heels, squeeze your butt, and come on up. Slowly with control. Okay, last one here, guys. Arms up, shoulders down, core tight. Drop your head and slowly start to articulate down. Should be a little bit easier than the first time, right? Hold at your deepest point. Once again, feel free to alternate, bend and extending of those knees. Hold it, straight legs or straight-ish, they can be softly bent. Slowly articulate on up, vertebra by vertebra. Go ahead and bring your arms back up by your ears. Relax your shoulders and soften your knees. Pull your arms to a goalpost position. Then I want you to twist. Try to keep your hips stay facing forward. So it's a very subtle twist. Side to side, like the old school inside of a washing machine. Super controlled. So think like you got headlights on your hips, they're shining forward as your shoulders twist from side to side. From about the crown of the head to the tailbone should be completely in one single piece. It's easy to kind of do this from side to side. Don't let that happen. Take your gaze with you. You guys are great. Squeeze the core. So those obliques, the sides of your torso, are what you should be feeling right now. One more to either side. Relax those shoulders in and down. Then come through center, shake those arms on out. Getting a little bit of shoulder warmth there. It should feel kind of good. Taking your legs wider than shoulder width. Feet are going to go at 10 and 2. So make sure your legs are really wide here. I'll tell you more in just a second. Hands can go to your hips, to prayer, up, out, whatever is working for you today. Let's bend the knees, wide legs. So you can see my knees are in line with my ankles. You want to keep them like that. Then lift up, straight legs. Good. Bend the knees, slide down an imaginary wall. Lift, you come on up. You can do a lower of the arm, shoulder level, and a lift of the arm as you extend your legs, or whatever is suiting you today. Start to feel those thighs warm up. It should feel very pleasant, but in the best way possible. I mean that sarcastically, of course. It should start to burn a little, but nothing too strenuous yet. However, we are getting there. And I'll turn profile so you guys can see. Once again, you want to flat back. So it's really tempting here to turn this into a squat. Avoid the squat. Think like you're up against a wall here. Just warming through those legs. You guys look great. Try to get those heels to touch. It's not physically possible. Oops, here we are. It's not physically possible, but try. On your next one down, go ahead and hold it down. Keep those legs bent super deep. Ideally, you want your thighs parallel to the ground. Okay, bring those arms up overhead. Let's rotate to the right, or slightly bend to the right, excuse me. Round through center. Think like you're rounding up and over something hot. You don't want to get burnt like a ball of fire. Then to the other side. Stay low in the legs and still. It is just your upper body moving. Side to side here. Good job, guys. Relax those shoulders. Keep working. Excellent. And don't be scared to round. You can really round forward if you want. Just don't collapse forward. There's a difference. See if you can get a little lower in those legs. We're only just beginning. So really find the point where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do anymore already. With the legs, it's easy to let this happen. So really watch yourselves. Make sure you're widening as much as you can. Slow and control. We'll do one more to either side or whatever you have to do to even out. If you're not too sure, that's okay. Just do what you can. Then hold through center. Keep your legs wide. Come on up. Now, you're going to keep your wide legs with your knees and toes facing forward. Before we have that slight 10 and 2 turnout, this time you're wanting to make sure everything is parallel but still wide. Going into some lateral lunges. So be patient with yourselves with these. You want to think about bending deep with your knees and sitting your hips back. Once again, feel free to take hands in prayer, out, up, wherever, to your hips, wherever is speaking to you today. Keep in mind that arms out or up is a little bit more of a challenge. Let's get into it. So you're going to sit back. You can stand up here, or you can just slide across and go to the other side. Really sink your hips backwards. Try to get your thigh parallel to the ground. So really get back. Think about pinning your shoulder blades in and down. Once again, it's easy to let them round here. Squeeze those shoulder blades, almost like I'm pulling your hips backwards here. Obviously, this wider stance with the low forward and back is going to be your biggest challenge. So like I said, if you need to stand up, sit down, go for it. Whatever's speaking to you today, go for it. Try it. We're going to keep adding to this as we go. I want everyone to move like they're going through mud, sand, or water pretty much the whole time, unless I tell you otherwise. So everything is with super, super controlled form. Good. Get those hips back a little more. Squeeze those shoulder blades in and down. Excellent work, guys. Okay, let's hold it to the right now. Hold it to the right. Down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Keep those hands pressing together if you're doing prayer, away from your chest. Remember, if you want that challenge, feel free to bring them out or up. That's extra shoulder work, so keep it in mind. Yes, it's the extra burn. Hold it low, right heel, lifts, lowers, lifts, lowers. It might not get that high, not about the height of the heel here. You're just trying to burn that leg out. Keep going. Excellent. Make sure you are hinging. Before I was saying flat back, this is a hinge. This is truly a hinge from the hip. Squeeze the core. Exhale, blow out your birthday candles. You guys are doing great. We got one more change for this side coming, and then we'll keep going back and forth, kind of shake it out a little bit before we go to the next side. Hold the heel high if you can. Pulse, pulse, deeper, deeper. Get those hips back. Press those palms together. Heck, try arms reaching out or up. You might surprise yourself. You might be like, oh, it's not that bad. Excellent work, guys. Relax the shoulders. Keep breathing. If you can't keep your shoulders down, like I said, feel free to do it out. Feel free to maybe lower just a little bit more. You do find your inner ballerina here. Hold it here still. It's a little bouncy. I just fell over. Have fun with it if you do. Lower your heel. Go back to the other side. Keep switching. Switch, switch. And I'm just moving my arms around just so y'all get a different idea for what to do with your arms. You don't have to keep moving your arms with me. If you find something that works, if you're like, prayer, that's fine, go with it, that's cool. You might feel stretch in the inner thigh of the straight leg, so whatever the straight leg is, stretch in the inner thigh is good. Keep going with it. Get those hips back a little deeper. I know it's hard to see if I'm hinging, I promise, I feel it too. Hold it to the left, take it down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Now if you brought arms out or up on the other side, make sure you do the same on this side. We want you even. Tiny inch movement, really press through the outer heel, outer foot, get those hips back. Almost like you're putting a butt print on whatever is behind you. Excellent. Hold it low, lift and lower the heel. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Doesn't need to be a high lift. You could also just hold it if you'd rather not lift and lower heel, or you can go back to the pulsing down and jump an inch as well. Get those hips back there. Woo, I'm sweating with you guys. Awesome work, you're doing great. Hold it, heel high, pulse it out. Pulse, pulse. So it's teeny tiny, you probably don't see me moving. I'm doing these very small movements, super teeny tiny. Keep those knees and toes facing forward. Keep those hips back. I'm starting to lose it too, guys, but we're in it together. We got this. Hold it here. Shake it out. Woo! Good job, everyone. That was super strong. Okay, we're going to go to a straight arm plank now, which is going to turn into a wide second position, similar to what we did at the very beginning. I'll explain more in a minute. Let's just first find your wide arm plank. So you're going to come on down, take your arms, hands go right under your shoulders, and you're going to find that best straight arm plank position, feet parallel, hip width apart. Take the rounding out of your back, so squeeze your shoulder blades together slightly, squeeze your core, squeeze your butt. Feel this nice, burning but lovely sensation going through your core. Even get your thighs involved. So when your thighs getting the sensation like they're being pulled up, they're pulling up the kneecaps, excuse me. Squeeze those glute muscles, those seat muscles, and just breathe here for a minute. Now we're going to turn this into a wide second position in just a second. So I'll explain more in just a minute. First, just get that lovely warming through your body. Let's start with the right leg. Right leg comes out at a 10 and 2 position, just like where we started at the beginning. When we come up, you'll know what we're talking about. Then you'll come up to the left side. Come up, straight, tall, proud posture. You can put hands in prayer, out or up, wherever it's focused or wherever your focus goes for you. Wherever you're not going to feel like you're going to fall over. Now, I want you to lift your right heel up. Pulse, pulse, lower. Left heel up. Pulse, pulse, lower. Bend deeply, hips and the hips back, hands to the floor. Right foot goes back in your straight arm plank. Left foot goes in your straight arm plank. Breathe, 2, 3, 4. Let's bring your left leg up. Slight turn out at 10 and 2. Bring the right leg up. Come up, stay low. Watch your hips are not hiking to the ceiling as you come up. Left tippy toe up. Pulse, 2, here. Good. Left tippy toe up. Pulse. So both down, hold it. Come back to your straight arm plank again. I'm going to show you from face on. Keep moving on it, guys, as best as you can. If you just need to hold a plank here, you can do that. You can even do this up against the wall. If you want to kind of plank it out here, you could come off the wall, find your wide second position, do that there as well. I'll once again show you face forward. So you're in your straight arm plank. You'll bring your right leg up. You'll bring your left leg up. Legs are wide. Stay low as you come up. Right heel up, pulse, pulse, come down. Left heel up, pulse, pulse, come down. Hold it low. Sink those hips back and down as you bring your hands back. Find your straight arm plank position. Hold, breathe, 2, 3, 4. Come on up. So very slow motion cardio. I'm sweating to death already. And I've not done nearly as many reps as you all have done. So it is a challenge, but know that you're capable. And if you need to take it slow, that's okay. Just make sure that your legs are in that wide second as you come up. So try not to get here because you'll hurt your knees. Get really wide and low. You got it, guys. We're only going to go through it one more time. So wherever you're at, if you're in the middle, finishing on one up, so when you're upright, come back down, finish one more, and hold it down in your straight arm plank. So if you're already in a straight arm plank, just keep holding, waiting for us. You can always come to your knees as well. Knees is always an option. If you take that option, that's fine and good. Think about placing your feet flat on the floor in this straight arm plank position. Gently, very, very gently press them into the floor if you're going to do that. Or just like I said, hold on your toes and wait for us. We'll be there in just a second. Excellent work, guys. Try it. Hips in line with shoulders. Watch you're not piking or dipping as you go here. And if you're still working on your wide seconds, that's okay. Go for it. Keep working. Good. Yes. Lovely. Awesome form, guys. Be so proud of yourselves. I always tell everyone half the battle is coming to the class or coming to the session. So you've already completed half the battle. Now let's go off big and complete the rest. So once you hit your straight arm plank, just hold and breathe. Make sure your nose is hovering in between where your thumbs are. Your elbows are soft. Your butt is squeezing, your core is squeezing. Your shoulder blades are lightly squeezing together in and down behind you. Breathe, 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 breathe. Then go ahead, find a child's pose position. Seek towards your ceiling, or excuse me, seek towards your heels, and then chest towards the floor. Arms can reach long or they can reach on the side of you if that's not comfortable for your arms, wrists, shoulders, whatever today. And we're down on the floor with a little bit more thigh work. So this has been a crazy warm up so far. Slash workout. We're slowly getting into the workout. And when you're ready, you're gonna come to a kneeling position. If this doesn't suit you, once again, feel free to come to standing, take a hand against the wall, a countertop, and do the lean back portion on your tippy toes or flat feet. So you're gonna be kneeling here. Knees are right underneath your hips. I'll turn profile because it's really important for this one to see all different angles, as many as you can. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and then the hips are over your knees. Arms are gonna be right in front of your thighs, palms face in if that feels comfortable for you. Starting with just a basic hinge back of the knee joint. You're gonna hinge back from your knees as you reach out, come back up, slow and controlled. Anyone that's done knee stretch on a reformer knows that this is exactly what we're doing. It's the exact same thing, but without the reformer ropes, sadly, to support you. So what you're thinking of doing is hinging from the knee joint. It's really easy to want to round from the spine like this. It's truly from the knees. So once again, if you have knee problems, find your wall, find your countertop, take your parallel hip width apart, feet flatter, high heeled, and you're just gonna lean back and forward, and this arm can do whatever feels good for you. So think about that as you go. Obviously the floor is the more challenging thing. If you are on a hard surface, feel free to roll up your mat or put a towel underneath you as you go. Keep going, guys, you look great. Squeeze that butt, neck, core. You want that straight diagonal line from the crown of your head to your kneecaps as you go with this. We're gonna add to this, so this is level one. If you feel like you need to come back to something, come back to this. Move super slow. Excellent work, everyone. Tops of the thighs should be starting to feel like core, glutes are working as well. Shoulders are working here, just a little bit. Next one, let's hold it back on your diagonal, alternating lifts of your arms here. So you're gonna be taking arm up and you're just holding still through the rest of the body. Those thighs should start to shake. I know mine are. Squeeze that butt, squeeze that core. Keep going, guys, you're doing awesome. If you can hinge back deeper, do it. Just once again, watch the rounding of the spine. You want the straightest, flattest back you got. Move those arms like you're going through mudslide underwater. So super slow and controlled. And whatever up means for you. If you can't get all the way up by your ears, you can just do up an inch, down an inch as well. Excellent work, guys. Thighs should be burning. Squeeze those butts, squeeze those cores, and see if you can hinge even deeper. Now let's do both arms. Up, down, down. Control, control, control. Yes, relax your shoulders down. Once again, if your arms are not going up that high, that's okay. You want to just keep more shoulders down than anything. Excellent. Hinge a little deeper. Last change here. Just reach your arms overhead. Embrace your burn and your shake if you got it. Just hold and breathe. Yes. Hinge a little deeper if you can, guys. It should be slightly painful. Lower down with control. Very good, everyone. Excellent. Sit your seat on your heels. Bring your right hand back behind you, your left bicep by your ear. Squeeze your butt and your core, and just get your hips up off of your heels. That should feel really good. Little rock star stretches for the rock stars that you are. Seriously, that's hard. Sit your butt back on your heels before you do the other side when you're ready. Take your time with this. The squeezing your butt will intensify that stretch through the thighs, through the hip flexors. And then come on down off of your heels when you're ready. Have space behind you because we're gonna do rolling like a ball. And please make sure you have something soft underneath you if you don't already. Sitting towards the edge of your mat, or if you're on a floor, don't worry about the edge. Just make sure, once again, you have space behind you. Take your feet flat, glue together. Your knees are in a diamond shape. Sit up straight and tall. Bring your hands to your shins, and your shins to your hands. So you have this opposition kind of going through your body right now. Once you feel comfortable with that, squeeze right underneath your belly button and gently push yourself backwards to a hover off the floor through the feet. This is initiating right underneath that belly button. So super tight core and really round through the spine. Inhale, you're gonna round straight back through the center of the spine. Exhale, you come back up with control. Keep the rounded shape of the spine. And if you're thinking, why do I have these sticky parts in my back where I feel like more of a box than a ball? That's okay, just keep going. This is why we do this. This is spinal articulation. Also, you're getting a little mini massage up and down that spine. Just try to get those sticky parts out of your body. And I'll keep turning different angles here, so keep working, guys. Watch your necks here. You should be going, ladies, probably right around the bra line or upper kind of mid-backish area. If I have any gentlemen out there that are like, what are we talking about this for? What are we talking about? So you want this kind of diamond shape in your legs. As you go to, you want to keep the space between your knee and your chest the same. So many times people have a tendency to want to hug their knees in and then use momentum to come up. Try not to do that. The space remains the same. So you can see as I do this, there's that space there. And this is just a little fun shake out thing because we started out big. So this is a good way just to shake things out. If this isn't working for you, feel free to flatten your feet, bend your knees parallel, hip width apart, reach out or hold on and just round through your spine, forward and back. That totally works too. Okay, guys, keep going. Let's do 2 more. And then you're gonna, once you've done your last one, you're gonna roll yourself down to the floor. So once you've done your last one, roll to the floor. Hold it. Take your feet flat, your knees bent parallel, hip width apart. Readjust yourself. If you're like me, you did not get on the right part of the mat. Arms are gonna go long by your side. Once again, feet parallel, hip width apart, legs bent, just a reminder. Find your low back melting into the floor. So really squeeze your core to make your back just melt and relax. There should be no space. So if I were to come behind you, I wouldn't be able to get my hand between you and the floor because you'd be squeezing your core so hard. Starting with some core work. This is level 1. So if you need to come back to something, this is what you come back to. Curl through your head, neck, and chest. Float your arms by your side in line with your shoulders and reach. Look towards your kneecaps. Breathe. Lower with control. We'll go over breathing patterns in a second if you're curious. I don't get too strict about them. Let's just keep moving. Look towards those kneecaps. That's going to keep your head in line with your spine. There should be an orange under your chin, so space between chin and chest. Flatten through the core. So watch as you curl, your abs don't pop towards the ceiling like freshly baked bread. Lower down with control. Good. Keep going with this movement. We're going to do a bunch of basic Pilates ab movements. That should be fun. So have fun with them. They don't have to be perfect. Lower with control. Now you can stick with this movement or you can come with me. We're going to take it up a notch. Curl through the head, neck, and chest. Keep your arms reaching. Bring your right leg into tabletop. Bring your left leg into tabletop, or left leg floating, excuse me, long over the floor. You could also flatten it as well with that knee. Hands can go behind your head. You're going to curl towards your right leg. Come center. Bend both knees. Extend your right leg long. Curl towards your left leg. Come center. Bend both knees. Switch it out once again. So keep going side to side here. Core is your focus. You're working all parts of the core. Head remains heavy in the hands. Being mindful not to bring your elbows too close to your midline or far too open. You're about in a V shape with them. Knees stop in line with the hips. It's very tempting to want to let your heel go towards your seat and your knee go towards your chest. IQ knee in line with hip and ankle. That's going to keep your tailbone out as well as make your core work just a little harder because of that. Equally high off of both shoulder blades here. Super tempting to just want to rest on whatever side you're twisted towards. Try to fight it. Twist high on the diagonal. You can exhale if you'd like. As you twist, inhale, center, whatever works for you. Like I said, I'm not super strict about breathing patterns. I feel like breathing is not necessarily a rule, so that's why I don't get too strict on it. Also, I have a tendency to have people be like, are you exhaling here, inhaling here? So if you're wondering why I don't get too strict on, that's why. Now we'll add to this, guys. So go ahead, twist towards your right leg. Keep your leg in that 90-degree tabletop angle. Left leg can still float. Now, I want you to curl up a little higher, reach. Take your hands back behind your head. Come center. Switch it out. Curl, reach a little higher to the left. Come back through center, hands behind the head. Switch it on out. Keep going side to side. You can do any of the things we were doing before. If those still are not working for you, feel free just to take both feet flat and just curl from side to side. Both feet flat, bent knees. You can do that too. So obliques should be burning. Think of lifting with your core, not necessarily your head, neck, and chest. Pretend like it's dead weight. You're doing it, guys. It's a tough one. We're only having a couple more of these, so really burn it out. Also, if that straight leg is hurting your back, that's hovering, feel free to lift it towards the ceiling more if you need to. One more to either side. I will give you a break in between these ab little bursts that we have. Once you've done your last one, lower your head, neck, and chest, and hug your knees in. Gently rock from side to side. Curl back up. Take your right leg long towards the ceiling. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Take your left leg long and hovering. Going for scissors. Hold on behind your thigh or your calf. Do not hold on to your knee joint, so be careful. You're going to exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. So just a basic scissor. The exhale is a little pulse of the leg. So you trying to curl a little higher towards your leg as opposed to you bringing your leg towards you and your torso, if that makes any sense. Really light grip. If you're tempted to really pull on your leg, feel free just to reach your arms out and let your legs scissor for themselves. Try it before you say no. You might be surprised. Feel free to lower through your head, neck, and chest as well. That's another option for these. There's like 50 different modifications for all these. So really make it your own. Just because I don't say it doesn't mean it's not a modification or possibility, as long as you're working your core. So go for it. Do one more to either side. I'll keep it simple. Then once again, lower through your head, neck, and chest. Gently rock from side to side, just like you did before. And breathe, 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 breathe. Breathing's super important. Final set of abs for now. Bring your legs up into tabletop one at a time. Glue them together. Take them straight towards the ceiling. Once again, they don't need to be perfectly straight. If you need hands under your sacrum for extra support, go for it. We're going to work lower core. Lower your lower your legs to your lowest point of control. Lift them back up. Legs go right in line with your hips. Try not to bring them towards your body. So lower them to your deepest point of control and lift straight back up. If you're looking for a little extra core work, feel free to roll up through your head, neck, and chest and kind of just watch your legs go down and up. Or if you're like, no thanks, had enough, keep them down. That's totally fine to do. Your focus is right underneath your belly button. So right in the lowest part of your core is where you should feel this. Glue those legs together, squeeze them together like you got $1 million between them. You do not want to lose that $1 million because I will come find you and I will come go shopping with it afterwards. Not really. Just something to think about though. Keep tension free through the head, neck, and chest. It's easy to let your legs go so low that you get that tension building in your neck. So really just relax anything that is just the lowest part of the core. You guys are doing great. We have one more kind of core-y thing left, or actually a couple more core-y things left, but nothing as intense as this is, in my opinion. Y'all might disagree with me. Do one more to either, or one more time through, excuse me. There are two sides here. Just one more time through. And then you'll lower your legs down into your tabletop. You can lower one at a time. I'll give you a bit of a break here. Let your arms go long above you, legs go long below you, excuse me. Relax your shoulders and gently let your rib cage pop. We're not quite done with core, but we're done with all the big, heavy forward flexion, crunch-like stuff. Keep your arms overhead. Feet can stay parallel, hip width apart and flex. Or for modification, flatten them, bend them, parallel hip width apart too, as well. Going for roll-ups. So lifting through your head, neck, and chest, then coming up completely, your legs should be still, rounding up and over them. Keep your hands in line with your shoulders or up to the ceiling for an extra challenge. Squeeze your core, squeeze your butt, start to wheel that pelvis underneath you as you slowly articulate down vertebra by vertebra. Legs should remain still. So once again, if you're having a hard time doing that, just flatten the feet, bend the knees,
No shame in your modification. I'll give you a breathing pattern. Inhale, lift through your head, neck, chest, and arms. Exhale, curl, 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 like you're rolling over a beach ball or rounding up and over a beach ball on your lap. Reaching with your hands in line with your shoulders. Do not let this happen. So really keep that rounded spine. Slowly come down and up. Once again, working through spinal articulation, getting a little core work here as well. Should feel kind of good. Use your core and your breath to lift you. We're gonna do one more time after this, guys. Just slow and controlled. Slide that tailbone directly underneath you. Everyone's doing great. On our next up, we're gonna hold it up. So just roll up as you normally would. Relax those shoulders, squeeze your core, breathe, 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 breathe. As you round up and over, you might feel a bit of a hamstring stretch. Then sit up straight and tall. Come onto your forearms. Elbows go directly underneath your shoulders. And then you're gonna take your feet parallel, hip width apart. Tighten through your core. Take one leg into tabletop. Take the other leg into tabletop. This is more core work, but without the forward crunching kind of flexion motion that we just did. Feet can be pointed or flexed, whichever is suiting you today. Start with the right leg. You're gonna extend your leg out and bend it. Left leg, extend it out and bend it. Take it as low as you can control. You should not feel this in your low back, so be careful how low you go. I'm finding a little shake in my core as I do this. If you're shaking, more power to you. Make sure you're relaxed. So it's easy in this position. This is kind of a slouchy, we're at a beach position, but we're not, sadly. So it's really easy to let yourself kind of crumble. I'll turn the profile so you can see. Kind of crumble up. You want to push yourself up and off of the floor as you go here. Squeeze the core. Now, this is a challenge, but try it. So this is your level one. You can also do this as well. You can do your feet flat and pick them up one at a time as well. Okay, so here's your challenge. Next level option. Right leg will reach out. Take your left hand to reach it. Then bring everything back in. Switch it out, alternate. Reach, extend, bend and lower. Reach, extend, bend and lower. Move slow and controlled. Keep going, guys, you got it. Good. So opposite arm, opposite foot will extend. You'll lower with control. This is working towards the teaser, which y'all are gonna have the option to do in a second. If you don't wanna do it, do one of the other options we're doing. So this is gonna go for a bit. So just do what you can. And never be ashamed to take the modification. You're reaching your hand parallel to your thigh. So watch you're not up here and watch you're not down on the ground. Somewhere in between. Now, after this next one, I can't talk and do this at the same time. After this next one, hold your legs at tabletop. Both hands will be off back on the floor. Prop yourself up and off the floor, readjust. Take both legs out and bring them in. Good, go back to that, both legs out, bring them in. Or go to this, excuse me. Remember, watch how low you go here. So you might be like, oh my gosh, I feel this in my back like crazy. Just go up towards the ceiling a little more. Next one out, hold it, little crisscrosses of your feet. Next option is going to be for a full teaser position. We won't go through the whole roll up and everything that goes with it, but we'll just go right into it. If you feel like you want to do it, if you're like, go to one of the things we just did. Keep moving whatever you do. Do not come out of it. So keep going. Remember, just because I stop doesn't mean you do. This is y'all's workout. I'm just along for the ride, so keep going. Hold your legs still and straight on a low diagonal. See if you can bring one arm up. See if you can take the other one up. Straight mid-back, rounded lower back. Reach. You can also go here. You can also go here. Try it. Lower it down. Release. Good job, guys. Shake that on out. That was a lot. Very good, very good. That is your teaser prep. Always try something before you're like, no way. She might surprise herself. Let's move on to your side seat series. I'm gonna mirror y'all, so once again, if a direction doesn't work for you, just make sure you don't do the same side twice. You can start however you want though. Right elbow is gonna go directly underneath your right shoulder. Once again, we're propping ourselves up here, up and off of the floor, just in a different angle and direction. Bend your knees so the soles of the feet go in line with the back of the body. Top hand can press into the floor. It can go out or up, or you can place it behind your head for a challenge, or even at your hip. Whatever is going to suit you today, go with it. I like this because you can really make sure you're stacked through your hips. That usually, not all the time, will help you stack everywhere else through shoulders and knees and ankles as well. So all that is stacked up. You're looking at the horizon, lifting your top leg up here. You're going to lift it up in this slightly bent position, lower or hover. Lift and lower. You should feel this top glute area. You can even put a hand there if you want to really feel yourself working through that side glute or butt or seat, whatever you want to call it. Keep this part of the body up and off of the floor. Oftentimes it's so easy just to do this. You really need to push yourself up and off that floor. Use your bottom oblique here and your shoulder to help you, just not too much shoulder. Looking at the horizon. We'll keep adding to this as we go, guys. You're doing great. You're holding on to this. Class is going by super quick. I feel like we just started, although you all might not think so, but I definitely feel like this is going quicker than it normally does. So that side seat should be nice and heated up. Next one, let's go ahead and hold it high here and bent, or hold it hovering, excuse me, hovering and bent. You're going to extend it out, bend it back and lower, or tap your knees together. Just your knees, not your feet. Extend it out, bend and tap your knees together, or hover, extend them out. If you're finding your hips kind of lowering as you try to bring your knees together, don't worry about your knees touching, just slightly lower your knee. Squeeze your core, keep looking at the horizon. Your leg does not have to go high here. You don't want to go so high, you kind of let yourself crunch low, so be careful through that torso. Careful the torso, you want to keep a really straight, strong torso. Or straight-ish, strong torso. Woo, guys, it's feeling awesome. That side glute area should feel burnt. In the best way possible, of course. Keep breathing, keep reaching through the toe. I have a pointed toe. If flex foot's speaking to you, go with it. Whatever's gonna keep you moving, guys. Next one, let's hold that leg out. Just a little circle, tiny circle, circle. Straightest leg you got. Leg is right in line with your hip. So watch you're not too far forward or too far back. You're right in line with the hip. Mine's not that high. Y'all might have different hip mobility. My hips aren't that great, I'll be honest. So if you're more flexible in your hips, you might be able to get your leg up higher without crunching through the side oblique. Just do your best. The smaller the circle, the better. Keep breathing, guys. I know it burns. Don't give up, though. You can do this. We're in it together. Let's reverse it. Reverse that circle. Remember, take that hand behind that head for the extra challenge. Try it before you say no. Hold your tightest circle. Lift it, lower it. Lift it, lower it. Squeeze the core. You might feel this all the way up to the side body even. Good. More power to you. That's great. Go for it. Run with it. That's absolutely correct. Woo, it burns, guys. Hold it high. Nothing moves. Breathe. Woo, lower it out. We'll do a big stretch for that in a second. Let's flip you over to the other side. No, actually, we're not going to flip you over to the other side. We're going to do an oblique thing. I forgot. So you're going to lay just as you were with your legs, but you're going to come down to your upper body now. Hands will go behind your head. Keep your hips stacked. Keep your knees and ankles stacked. Hands are going to go behind your head. Hips should be facing forward. Shoulders are going to be kind of facing on a diagonal. You're going to do little oblique crunches. So I lied. I forgot we have this forward flexion part here. It's a tiny lift and a lower. Woo! You should feel it right kind of nipping at your waist and the side upper waist, which I feel times a million here. Head is super heavy in your hands. It doesn't take much. You should not be peeling yourself all the way off the floor. Try to keep your hips as still as possible. If you're having a hard time feeling this, make sure your hips are stacked. If they're open, more than likely you might not be feeling them as much, or if they're closed too as well. So I'm keeping my hand here just as a guide to make sure my hips stay stacked. Now, next one, you can reach that top arm out and just do little curls, holding at your highest point. Little crunch reach, crunch reach. Oh my gosh, guys, if you do not feel this at your waist, please leave a comment in the chat. We can talk about it after class, because I feel it like crazy. No one is guilty of this, but if you're wondering where this is, love handle area. I'm not saying anyone has that problem, so don't go there. but think about that's where that position is. Keep your head heavy in your hands, reach and hold, gently release. Oh my gosh, woo, that burned. Okay, you're gonna lay on your side now. We're gonna do one more thing before we flip over for real. Inner thigh work. Keep stacked through shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. You're gonna take your whole legs directly below you, so you're in one long straight line. So whole body's in one big line. Top hand's gonna gently press on the floor. Take your top leg and bend it so your foot is flat out in front of your bottom leg. Then you're gonna lift that bottom leg up, flex your foot. You're gonna lift, flex, slightly hover or lower, point lift. Good. Flex lift, release, point lift, release. And keep alternating. If it's too much to think about, am I pointing or flexing here? Just lift and lower. So the inner thigh is now your focus. You want your straightest leg, guys, straightest leg. Keep your core tight, relax your shoulders. We're only gonna do a couple changes here before we go to the other side. So there's some other things I wanna get to before we go today. We only have about 20 minutes left, so you guys are really keeping up with it well. Awesome work today so far, guys, so be so proud of yourselves. Everyone is taking that challenge of fighting that battle. Next one, hold the leg either straight or the toe, either pointed or flexed, whatever feels good for you. Tiny circles, hold at your highest point. Inner thigh should be working. If you want that little extra challenge, feel free to turn your knees down, toes down towards the floor, slightly in that kind of pigeon toe position. Also, if you're like, I'm not feeling this as well, maybe you want to flex your foot. Try it. Go ahead and reverse your circle. Thigh and just lift, tiny lifts. Lift, 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 lift. No more lift and lower, just lift, 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 lift. Hold it high. Oh, gently release it. My goodness. We'll do a big stretch after this next side, guys. Let's flip yourselves on over. No time to waste. Stack yourself through your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles. Remember your feet. Oh, we're propped up here. Prop yourself up underneath your right elbow or left elbow. Yes, I'm mirroring you, so left side. Now you're going to be bending your knees so the soles of the feet are in line with the back of the body. So watch you're not bent too far forward or too far back. Propping yourself up on your elbow. Remember, whatever you do with your hand on the other side, do on this side. If you can't remember, use your best guess. Take your top leg to a float. You're just going to lift it and lower it. So we start all over again. That was a crazy long set, guys, but you did a killer job. Remember, foot pointed or flexed. Once again, if you're like, what did I do on the other side? I can't even remember what's going on right now. That's okay. Just use your best guess. Just worry about burning out that side seat more than anything. So once again, feel free to put a hand here. Feel free to press yourself up and off the floor using your oblique closest to the floor. Most importantly, breathe. Side seat's starting to warm, guys. It should feel toasty warm and awesome. So embrace that burn. That's what you want. That's what you came for. The best way to get stronger and healthier. Okay, you hold it a hover. Bring your knees towards each other. They don't necessarily have to touch. Extend your leg, bend and tap. Extend your leg, bend and tap. Remember, your leg does not have to go that high. This is unilateral work, guys, so that means one side at a time. You might notice, oh my gosh, this side's so much tighter than the other, or oh my gosh, this side is way more flexible, or it moves a little bit better than the other. Just notice what you notice. This is why we do the one-sided stuff. This side for me is burning out a lot more. If it's the same for you, that's more than likely because this other side just worked, and that side had to support it, so now it's working too, and it's tired. Keep working, guys. The burn is what you're coming for. Embrace it. Next one, hold it out. Circle. Tiny little circles. Side seat should be on fire. Remember, it's not about the height of the leg. It's about you trying to find that burn, that shape, and not crunching through that side body as fast as you can. Tiniest movements, the tinier the better off you are. Make sure that elbow stays underneath your shoulder. You don't want to be too far out or too close. Keep going. Reversing it. Hold it here, little lifts. Relax those shoulders in and down. See if that leg will go straighter or higher. Make sure the knees and toes are facing forward. You guys are doing great. Woo, hold it, and then gently release it. Oh, I'm sweating, I hope you are too. Okay, stack everything up. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, hands behind the head. Keep your hips stacked forward like they got headlights on them. Keep your head heavy in your hands, your elbows are in a V shape. You're gonna curl and release. Little side body crunch here. Curl and release. Lift with your core, not your head, neck, and chest. Automatically feeling that little crunch in your side body. And also I just played with where my range of motion was. Before I was kind of here and I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I slightly twisted up to the diagonal a little bit more where the wall and the ceiling meet. And that really got that crunch going. Remember, you're feeling that nip at the top of the waist. Great work, everyone. Keep it up. It's a burner. Try to keep your legs perfectly still. Now, next one, option, bring that top arm forward. If you did it on the other side, do it on this side. Little crunch reach. So your range of motion is even smaller. It's not nearly as big as it just was. Keep crunching, keep crunching. Right in that side oblique area, right here, right in the waist. Feels a little pitch. Hold it high and still. Breathe, 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 breathe. Gently lower everything down now. Arm goes along underneath your ear. You're stacking to your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles once again. And then you're going to take your top leg and bend it so your foot is flat in front of your bottom leg. Flex your foot, float your leg, knees and toes can face forward as much as possible, if not slightly down to the floor for a little extra challenge like that pigeon toe shape. You're flexing the foot, lift, pointing, lift, flex, lift, point, lift. Relax those shoulders. Press yourself off the floor from your core so you should be able to comfortably fit a palm or a hand between your waist and the floor. Keep breathing, guys. You're doing great. This is a really long side body set and inner thigh set as well. So just do your best with it. You're almost done with it. You're in the home stretch. Next one, hold the leg up straight, flex your point foot. Once again, try to remember what you did on the other side, do it on this side. Little tiny circles. So I think I started pointed on the other side, so I'm gonna do pointed and I ended up doing flexed. Really get your straightest leg. It doesn't need to be high. Reverse it, guys, almost there. Squeeze a little harder. You're doing a killer job. Then hold it high, still circle, just squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift. Higher, straighter if you can. Inner thigh should be on fire. Make sure that core is still squeezing. Make sure you're still breathing. I know it's easy to get distracted here. There's so much going on. Hold everything high and still, just breathe, or leg high and still, I should say. Carefully come out of it. Lay yourself on your back. We're gonna do a figure four stretch. So everything you just worked in that side glute area is where your focus is. Feet go flat, knees go bent, parallel hip width apart. Arms for right now are going to go long by your side. Take your right flex foot and bring it over your left knee. This might be enough of a stretch for you right here. This is your figure four stretch. You should feel this all through the side hip and glute area where you just worked. If you want to take this up a notch, grab behind your left thigh with both hands and pull your shape in towards your chest. I like to press my right elbow and my right knee together just to get a little opposition. If it's too intense, you don't have to do that. Slowly, carefully, switch it on out. We're about to move to bridging, guys. So bridging is our next exercise, and I'll explain more in a second. If you know what that is, get mentally prepared. If you don't, that's okay, I'll explain. Gently come out of it, stay on your back, keep your arms along by your sides. As we go, you have the option to flip your palms up toward the ceiling or reaching to the sky at any point, in case I forget to tell you guys. Feet are flat, knees are bent, parallel, hip width apart. Tip your tailbone towards your nose, squeeze your butt, squeeze your core. Slowly articulate up vertebra by vertebra. Energy goes across the shoulder blades, please avoid your neck. You should find a straight diagonal line from the tops of your knees to the tops of the shoulders. You're lifting with your butt, not your belly button or back. Slowly articulate down. This is level 1. As we go, we will add to this. So we'll just stick with level 1 for now. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your core. Once you hit your tailbone on the floor, gently, of course, you're gonna come on up, vertebra by vertebra. Squeeze, 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 breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep moving, guys, or holding, excuse me, holding. Then slowly articulate down, vertebra by vertebra. Next time, tailbone hits, squeeze your butt, squeeze your core, articulate on up slowly with control. Finding your best bridge position. Heels can go close to your seat as we do this because we're going to lift and lower heels. Keep in mind what we just did is a great modification. If you want to keep with that, go with it. Just come with me if you want that extra level up challenge. Lift your heels, lower them. Lift your heels and lower them. You're isometrically holding through your glute hamstring area. Relax your shoulders in and down. Look towards the ceiling and breathe, guys. You're doing great. We're the home stretch of class. You've come so far already. You can't give up now. Next one, hold your highest heels. You might need to walk them in closer towards your glutes or your butt, your seat. That's fine, go for it. Holding your tightest squeeze. You have the option to reach your arms up to the ceiling and do scissor arms, similar to what we did with our thigh stretch at the beginning of class, which was not a stretch, but a burn. The name is super misleading with some of these guys. I did not make this up, so don't be mad. Keep your glutes squeezing super, super hard here. Move slow like you're going through, once again, mud, sand, water, peanut butter, whatever you can think that's going to slow you down. Next one, let's go ahead and reach both arms together, up and down, super slow. And whatever up means for you, up might be at shoulder height, or you might be able to get up by your ears. It doesn't matter, just move, breathe. And once again, always feel free to go back to what we did at the very, very beginning. Keep squeezing your butt. I know I'm getting tired too. I just caught myself letting my butt sag a little bit. Don't do it, guys. Do as I say, not as I do. You can do this. Now, next one, hold your arms either up above you or in line with your shoulders. I'm gonna hold them in line with my shoulders so I can talk to y'all. You're gonna do a tiny release of your butt, big squeeze to lift. Tiny release, big squeeze to lift. If you look super closely, you'll be able to see my hips slightly lift and lower here. Keep equal pressure on your feet. Even if you're tippy-toed or flat-footed, regardless, it doesn't matter. Next one, hold it high, just a little squeeze lift, higher, squeeze harder. Woo, it feels good. Right where that hamstring and that glute meet, back of thigh and butt meet. That is where you should feel this. Oh my goodness, it burns, guys. Embrace it, we're in it together. Hold it high, just breathe, breathe, breathe. Slowly lower with control. Oh, goodness. Okay, go ahead, let's do transitional roll up. We got one more thing planned. You're going to take your feet flat, your legs bent, feet flat, or legs straight long. Let's try it that way. And you're gonna roll on up, vertebra by vertebra. Coming onto all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. It's your grand finale, guys. So really go out big here. There is a two-sided grand finale, so we're gonna get started on it right now. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. You're in this tabletop position. So think like as you go, like you have a cocktail or a cup of coffee or whatever your drinking choice is on your back, you don't want it to spill. Being very mindful to keep a neutral spine so you should have a straight line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Watching that you're not bowing here or rounding. So really keep that nice straight flat back. We're going to start with a little bird dog. We're going to keep adding to it as we go. Right arm goes out in front of you, left leg behind you, whatever's working for you today. Go ahead and lift it up, lower it down, slow and controlled, switch it out, other side. Lift and lower, go to the other side. Super slow and controlled, guys, you're doing great. Use your butt that you just worked so hard with for bridging to lift your legs. So the exact same muscle is going to work, or set of muscles is going to work to lift your leg. Now, right arm, left leg are going to stay out or up. You're going to take them out an inch, so out to the right, out to the left. Bring them back in. Bring them out. Bring them in. Squeeze your core. Relax your shoulder. Hold it center on your next one. You're going to bend and reach back behind you. You don't need to necessarily touch. Extend long. Bend and reach. Keep your knee still. Extend long. Try to keep that knee as still as you can. You might find your hamstrings kick up a little bit more on that bend. That's absolutely correct. Keep going with it. Try to stay as squared as you can. You can see I'm moving super slow and super controlled. Watch that low back, guys. One more. Woo! Hold it out. Put your hand and knee down. Do a quick shake out. I know that got a little risky, so take a child's pose. Shake out those wrists. We're gonna go back and start all over again on the other side. Awesome work, guys. Super strong. Super hard, too. Good job. Okay, let's start with our left arm, our right leg with our bird dog position first. We'll keep alternating. So left arm, right leg, reach out and up. They come down. Keep everything square to the floor as best as you can here. Super slow. You can see I'm moving through my mud sander water. This is not a contest to see who can go the quickest. We're just all trying to find that burn, that shake, that healthy, strong body. Work for it. You can do it. Now, on your next one with the left arm reaching out, the right leg reaching back behind you, hold it there. Everything goes out to the left and the right of the inch. It comes back in. And as you can see, my leg is not super high. So watch you're not reaching your leg high to the ceiling like this. You want to stay kind of parallel to the ground as best as you can. Square shoulders, square hips. You guys are doing great. It's focus. A lot of mental power here as well. Don't discount that. Next one, hold it all in. You're going to bring it back. Try to reach behind you. Extend it long. Try to keep your knee still. Back. Extend it long. And yes, you can slightly twist here through your upper body. Just watch you're not letting your hips dip completely to the floor on one side. Woo, guys, this is a hard one. Keep going, you're doing great. We're gonna do a couple more. One more. Hold it out long. Lower it down before you fall down like I just did. I had a child's pose and shake it on out. Woo, guys, that was a doozy. Let's start to stretch it on out. So you're gonna sit down, find a butterfly stretch. So this is gonna hopefully stretch out those inner thighs we worked really hard on earlier. Kissing the soles of your feet together, bring your knees out wide. Keep in mind the closer your feet are, the little bit more of an intense stretch you'll be able to get. Round or hinge up and over. That shape. Feel those inner thighs. And I'm a little out of breath, forgive me. It's amazing how reaching back and trying to touch your toe is like so hard in that tabletop position. We didn't get to stretch hamstrings earlier, so let's go ahead and bring those legs straight out in front of us, glue them together. You can keep your knees soft if this gets too intense. Reach your arms overhead, sit up straight and tall, relax your shoulders. Round or hinge up and over, grabbing for your toes, your ankles, your shins, your knees, whatever you got today. You want to feel the backs of the thighs stretch. So you're trying for your straightest legs, but remember, you're striving for progress, not perfection. So if you feel like, oh, I can't do it, don't worry about it. Just try your best. See if you can get just a little lower, guys. Sitting on up straight and tall, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Hug it in. Other leg is just going to stay straight and flat or slightly bent if you need it. Grab onto that knee and you can hook your elbow around it or near it, and you can just get that twist stretch here. Sitting up straight and tall, feel a nice twist to your spine. Great. Good work today, everyone. Go ahead and switch it out. First, hug that knee in once you feel comfortable with that. You can hold onto your knee or hook your elbow, whatever you need to do, and just sit and twist, gently pulling that knee closer and closer to your chest. Sit up, crisscross applesauce. One more quick stretch. Right hand towards your floor, left bicep by your ear. Get a nice little side body stretch here, keeping equal heavy pressure in your hips. One more time on the other side. Switch it on out at your own pace. Caught between two panes of glass, one in front of you, one behind you. Breathe. Come on up straight and tall. Shake it on out, shimmy it on out. Round of applause. Everyone did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for coming today. Everyone have a great week.